San Francisco has a soaring homeless population. On any given night, some 35,000 are without a place to live. Much effort has gone into resolving the crisis with little effect. Stephanie Sy reports on how there is now hope that a new perspective can make a difference.
Good morning. We have some hygiene kits, t-shirts, water. It's easy to get stuck in this life, especially when you don't have no help, no hope.
This is Silicon Valley, home to Facebook, Google, and some of the greatest wealth in the country. And yet, along the 140 miles of trails and riverbeds in the city of San Jose lies its other half.
Do you think you're always going to be homeless?
Yeah. I've come to terms with the fact I'll probably die out here.
We kind of look out for
the hidden population of homeless who can't afford the ever-increasing cost of living.
What's it like to live here?
You're vulnerable. You can't really be prepared for everything that's out there.
It can't get better once you get on the street. There's really no way to get a job.
One of my greatest desires is for somebody to see the change in me, because I know a lot of these people out here.
Lee Clark has been there himself. Addiction and jail time led to a 5-year stretch of living on the streets.
I used to ride the bus all night. They call it the Hotel 22.
Like the thousands of others without a home in the region, he felt lost and ignored by a broken system. Just before the pandemic hit, Lee finally made his way out, but hasn't forgotten who he left behind.
I'm gonna call you this week or next week. One of the biggest things out here is being able to win people's trust, reaching back out to the homeless, offering them services, trying to get them housed.
Lee's transformation is in part due to his involvement with the Lived Experience Advisory Board. Formed by the nonprofit Destination Home, it gives the homeless a voice in what matters to them. Destination Home CEO Jennifer Loving says this type of formal board reflects a paradigm shift.
It was created by a group of people that had either been homeless here or were currently homeless, saying we need a place where we can talk about what's going on. We need power to make decisions. And I'm like, sign me up, like today. All Destination Home did really was provide the container. It's been self-governed from the beginning.
Its executive committee, led by Dante Lartigue, oversees the 16-member board.
It's important for us to build organizations rooted in lived experience.
Together, they advise nonprofits such as Destination Home on policy and spending, while also consulting for the local government. Their most recent assignment was to determine why this hotel, bought by the city for housing the homeless, wasn't being fully utilized.
And the reason why is it looks institutional. It looks like a prison. You go up, there's this gate. You got to be buzzed into this gate. So it looks like a juvenile hall.
Cinder block.
Yep. It looks like you're in a cell. First thing I told them, it's not going to work.
And they listen to you.
We'll see.
We've set aside funding to make improvements to the site in partnership with the Lived Experience Advisory Board.
Deputy Director for San Jose's Housing Department, Reagan Henniger, says the advisors have shed light on the complexity of the homelessness crisis.
For us, it really highlighted nearly every homeless person we're serving has some kind of previous trauma in their life.
The more that people are understanding how powerful this is, the more in demand they are. There's under supply of housing that's affordable in every city in this country.
In San Francisco, another organization has taken working with a homeless community advisory board even further, leading to tangible results in housing.
Andrea Evans leads the chronic homeless program at Tipping Point, a nonprofit backed by some of San Francisco's richest philanthropists, including 49er CEO Jed York and the Charles Schwab family. Its goal is ambitious.
It is a $100 million 5-year initiative, the goal of which is to partner with San Francisco and a bunch of nonprofits to cut the number of people experiencing chronic homelessness in half by the end of 2022.
How much is $100 million in the grand scheme of the homelessness problem here in San Francisco?
It's not a lot, I would say, in the grand scheme.
That's due to the fact that 3,000 chronically homeless San Franciscans are currently living on the streets.
We are by no means able to kind of replicate what the city does on an ongoing basis. And so we are really trying some very targeted approaches to house people more quickly and to make sure that they're able to stay housed.
They're kind of like, watchdog organizations.
And that's where Tipping Point's 7-member advisory board comes in. Like Destination Home, it consists entirely of individuals who've been homeless, like TJ Johnston.
Right now, I'm staying in a house, but for about 9 years, I've been unhoused in San Francisco. A lot of people do struggle just to survive. I'm kind of honored that people are asking us for our input.
But these are very much studio units.
And each of these has an ensuite bathroom?
That's right.
So far, that input has resulted in major decisions in grant money spending, including Tipping Point's $11 million flexible housing subsidy program.
It's been incredible to have that wisdom at the table.
However, longtime homeless advocate Jennifer Friedenbach cautions that not all boards are as effective.
There's advisory boards where you'll have like 1 or 2 unhoused people, and then they get kind of tokenized and never listened to in the group. And so you really have to have a deep connection to decision making, real power.
Even before the formal advisory board was formed, we canvassed about 300 people who are experiencing homelessness and asked them, what are your priorities? And it's bringing in that expertise.
We have that sort of know-how that we would like to impart to the rest of our community. Our needs are relatively simple in that we just want to be housed and we want to be able to live in dignity. In shelter situations, having your own privacy, it's next to impossible.
And that input is what drove forward the construction of the Tahanan building, 145 units dedicated solely for the homeless population downtown.
We're using modular construction, and so that has cut both the time and the cost significantly.
The goal is to have the entire project finished in just under 3 years for under $400,000 per unit, a record for the city's tough building laws.
Which still sounds like so much money.
It's still a lot of money, but by San Francisco standards, it's normally about $600,000 a unit.
The units are free for those who qualify. To pull it off, each unit was created off-site and then hauled in and assembled on location.
All right, let's go in and check out what it looks like inside.
It is much more than a roof over your head. It really is an opportunity. It's going to be beautiful.
Here it is. You've never seen this before. What do you think?
Wow, relief for one thing, just to see all this kind of realized. I think this represents a chance to get a new start on life. The fridge.
And for TJ, it's satisfaction in knowing that he helped so many homeless individuals find a new home with a door. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Stephanie Tsai in San Francisco.